Hi, Assalamualaikum. We are from Group Keyboard Warrior, and today we are going to be presenting our data about the students' study satisfaction.
This is our raw data related to students' depression we get from Kaggle. We want to make the degree as our main variable, so I drag and put at the front, and I will organize the data by sorting it. To sort the data, firstly make sure the entire column has been selected. Then click on the data, the custom sort, and click on the expand and sort. And choose degree, then click OK. Next, we use study satisfaction as our dependent variable. Here, data of study satisfaction, I drag it to the last column as we state it as dependent variable, so it's easy to relate with independent variable. Here, I paste our table array. Now, we want to convert numeric data of study satisfaction into descriptive labels. Choose a blank column and put a header as a study satisfaction label. Enter the formula. Select lookup value. Table array that we pasted earlier. Select this table array range and press F4 to lock the reference. And our column index is 2 and press enter. So we get our descriptive labels for study satisfaction. Next, we will do the exact same thing for academic pressure and financial stress.
Okay, I will now show you guys how can you get this descriptive statistic table. So the first step is you have to click on the data. After you have clicked on the data, you have to go to the data analysis section over here, and then you have to click on descriptive statistic option because you want to create a descriptive statistic table. And then on the input range, you have to drag only numerical variables that you want to use for your table. So here I am using the age variable, so I am going to drag this age section until the very end of the data set, which is 500. So I want it to be at the new worksheet, and I want it to summarize my statistics. So I press on the summary statistic and I will click on OK. It come out on new sheet. So what you have to do now is just change it to the variable like this, like this, and repeat the same steps for the variables, the other variables that you want to use for your descriptive table, statistic table. I am using CGPA, and then academic pressure, work hours, financial stress, and depression. Repeat the same step and you will get this table. Assalamualaikum, my name is Hasta Nuliza binti Muhammad Fidausa with metric number of 298761. So our group have decided to choose a data about study satisfaction. I'll start with the student's age. The average age is 26.42 years, reflecting a youthful group likely navigating the exciting yet challenging phases of early careers or postgraduate studies. The mode is 29 years, suggesting many students are in their late 20s. With a range of 18 to 34, the data spans a diverse group of students. Next is academic pressure. The mean score of 3.17 indicates that most students feel a manageable level of stress. However, the mode of 3 highlights that moderate pressure is the most common experience. The maximum score of 5 shows some students endure severe stress, while a minimum of 1 suggests others face little to no pressure. Moving on to CGPA. The mean of CGPA is 7.70, placing most students in grade C range. The mode of 8.04, however, reflects that many of them achieving slightly above average results. Exceptional performance exists too, with a maximum CGPA of 10.00, but the minimum of 5.08 highlights struggles for some students. Now we're moving on to study hours. When it comes to study hours, students dedicate an average of 7.16 hours daily, showing a strong commitment to academics. However, the mode and maximum values are the same, which is 12 hours, reveals that some of the students might be overworking themselves. On the other hand, a minimum of 0 hours indicates flexibility, likely due to breaks or lighter schedule. Next, we'll be moving on to financial stress. With an average score of 3.07, most students experience moderate financial pressure. However, the mode maximum scores of 5 shows that financial stress is a major concern to many, potentially due to tuition or living costs. Others, with a minimum score of 1, might benefit from financial aid or stable financial support. Now is depression level. The average score is 0.57 and the mode is 1, which means students experiencing depression is the most common reality for too many. The maximum score is also 1, confirms this, while a minimum score of 0.00 shows that some students remain unaffected.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nur Ilyana binti Hishamuddin, matric number 298752, and today I will be presenting the descriptive statistic of dependent and independent variables based on academic pressure, sleep duration, financial stress, and suicidal thoughts, focusing on their impact on student satisfaction levels. Let's start with academic pressure. For high pressure, this leads to significant dissatisfaction, with 45 students reporting dissatisfaction or high dissatisfaction. It has a clearly negative impact on students. On the other hand, mild pressure brings positive outcomes. A total of 31 students expressed satisfaction or high satisfaction, showing a balanced and positive experience. For minimal pressure, students reported balanced satisfaction levels here, indicating a sense of contentment. For moderate pressure, interestingly, this category saw the highest satisfaction levels, with 38 students reporting satisfaction, suggesting that moderate challenges are effective but can be demanding for some. And finally, severe pressure resulted in the highest dissatisfaction levels, with 71 students expressing dissatisfaction. While a few students thrive, the majority struggle in this environment. Moving on to sleep duration, for 5 to 6 hours of sleep, this group shows mixed satisfaction levels, with 61 students dissatisfied or highly dissatisfied and 37 reporting neutral satisfaction. For less than 5 hours, insufficient sleep strongly correlates with dissatisfaction, with 66 students reported being dissatisfied or highly dissatisfied. For 7 to 8 hours, this category had the most positive results, with 35 students highly satisfied. It shows that adequate rest contribute to higher satisfaction. For more than 8 hours, interestingly, dissatisfaction rises again here, with 28 students highly dissatisfied, possibly due to oversleeping. For financial stress, high financial stress, this category shows mixed reaction, with 25 students reporting neutral satisfaction but 33 students dissatisfied or very dissatisfied. Financial stress leads to dissatisfaction. For my financial stress, similarly mixed result here, 26 students satisfied but 24 very dissatisfied. Some students cope better than others. Minimal financial stress, students here exhibit the highest neutral satisfaction, with 32 reporting neutrally, indicating balanced satisfaction levels. And for moderate financial stress, dissatisfaction increases in this category, with 25 students highly dissatisfied and only 17 expressing satisfaction. This shows a significant negative impact. Lastly, severe financial stress. Severe stress results in the highest dissatisfaction, with 53 students dissatisfied or very dissatisfied, showing a strong negative effect on satisfaction. Now let's look at the presence of suicidal thoughts. For no suicidal thoughts, students without suicidal thoughts report balanced satisfaction, with 94 students neutral, satisfied or very satisfied. Extreme dissatisfaction is less common in this group. And having suicidal thoughts, this group exhibits top dissatisfaction, with 144 students dissatisfied or very dissatisfied, which means emotional distress contributes to these outcomes despite 72 students reporting neutral satisfaction.
Hi, my name is Adina binti Muhammad Shukri. My metric number is 298744 and I will continue with the next descriptive statistic of study satisfaction based on depression. As you can see in the table, among individual of students without depression have highest in satisfied category with 58 responses and the lowest is very satisfied with 32 responses. The individual with depression have highest in very dissatisfied category with 73 responses and the lowest is very satisfied category with 34 responses. Therefore, depressed students show that they might be struggle to focus and be motivated, which negatively impact in their satisfaction with studies compared to non-depressed students. Next is descriptive statistic of study satisfaction based on family history of mental illness. Among individual of students without family history of mental illness have the highest in neutral category with 67 responses and the lowest is very satisfied with 32 responses. The individual with family history of mental illness also have the highest in neutral category with 55 responses and the lowest is in very satisfied category with 34 responses. Overall pattern in level satisfaction are consistent between two groups, suggesting similar perception of study satisfaction regardless of family history. Lastly is descriptive statistic of study satisfaction based on study hours per day. The highest level of dissatisfaction is observed among students studying 12 hours per day, with 16 responses in the very dissatisfied category. The lowest is dissatisfaction is seen in the 0 hours per day group with only 8 responses. This trend suggests that increasing in study hours may lead to stress, which could contribute to greater dissatisfaction.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Syafiqah binti Rahman and matrix number is 298694 and I will present about the recommendations needed to increase the study satisfaction of the students. First one is the academic pressure, and a recommendation to deal with the academic pressure is by promoting flexible learning environments that offer enrichment activities aimed to motivate students that suffer from academic pressure. For instance, extracurricular projects such as volunteer programs, leadership and personal development activities or other activities can contribute to the satisfaction of studying and academic success. As for the sleep duration, a sleep awareness and management program can be implemented to reduce dissatisfaction in studying of students. As an example, a talk about the science of sleep affect academic success when an expert will expose students to the importance of having a regular bedtime, reducing screen time before sleep, and establish a relaxing surroundings. Hence, it can increase students' awareness about healthier sleeping habits that can improve their focus and productivity, which leads to higher study satisfaction. The third one is to deal with the financial stress faced by the students. Financial support and resource accessibility should be provided for students who got financial difficulties. For example, education institutions can create an emergency fund for students who suddenly got financial problems, establish food bank and also textbook lending programs which provide low-cost access to textbook and academic material. Hence, it can reduce the financial burden faced by the students and also can reduce their worries about money. Next, a recommendation to prevent any suicidal thought from student mind is by strengthening mental health support and counseling services. For example, conducting a mental health awareness campaign can help students to feel more comfortable to reach out for help when they are having a hard time instead of keeping it by themselves. Hence, campaigns that can improve student mental health can reduce their stress, foster a healthier mind, which can boost their academic satisfaction. The next one is establishing a peer support network for students who have depression. For instance, students can have a group support or peer mentor sessions that will give them opportunities to share their problems and untold feelings. This can positively impact them as it can reduce their stress, feeling of loneliness, and be more open in expressing their thoughts to others. Hence, students will feel more at ease and know how to manage their stress, which can lead to them being more satisfied in studying. Next, flexible study hours and time management is necessary to ensure that students are not overburdened by excessive study hours. As an example, they should normalize using study techniques such as Pomodoro technique to prevent them from feeling burnt out while studying. They can learn how to manage their study hours properly, leading to an effective learning which boosts their satisfaction in studying. The last one is by creating a mental health resilience program for students with family history of mental illness. Students that deal with family who have mental health illness tend to experience a higher level of stress, anxiety, and depressions. A mental health resilience program can help them by giving tips on stress management and provide emotional support. Hence, the students will know how to handle any stressful situations and personal challenges without it negatively impacting their study satisfaction.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Farsha Kamila and my metric number is 29946. And today I'm going to tell how I do my part, which is regression. Okay, so first of all, I make a table of the data that I want to use in my regression. Okay, so I copy the data from here. So this is the study satisfaction. I copy all. Copy. And then I paste it here. Okay, so all this is the data I want to use in my regression part. Okay, then after I have the data, I click on the data analysis and I click on regression. Okay, so for the Y range, I use the study satisfaction. Okay. Okay, then for X range, I use age, CGPA, and study hours per day. Okay, then I click on labels because I want it to have a labels. Then this is my data. Then I have to change the table, the label. Study satisfaction. Age, CGPA, study hours. Okay, so that's all for my part. Thank you.
From the regression part, multiple R is 0.102. This value represents the correlation coefficient between the observed and predicted value. A value of 0.102 indicates a very weak linear relationship between the dependent and independent variable. R squared is 0.10. The value shows the proportion of variance in the dependent variable explained by the independent variable. With an R squared of only 0.010, the model explains just 1.04% of variance, suggesting that the independent variable has minimal predictive power. Adjusted R squared 0.004, the metric adjusts that R squared value of the number of predictors in the model since it's very close to 0. It suggests that the inclusion of independent variables does not improve in the model expectancy power significantly. Standard error 1.332. The standard error represents the average distance that the observed value fall from regression line. A higher value indicates that the prediction deviates significantly from actual value, implying lower precision. Observation 499. The analysis was conducted on the dataset containing 499 observations, which is sufficient sample for a regression analysis. Multiple R value 0.102 suggests a very weak correlation between the independent and dependent variables, implying the model is not effectively capturing underlying relationship. The R square value 0.010 indicates that only 1.04% 0.04% of the variation in the dependent variable is explained by the predictors, demonstrating a poor fit of the model of the data. The adjusted R-square value that accounts for the number of predictors is lower at 0.04, indicating minimal improvement over a simple mean-based prediction and suggesting potential overfitting. The standard error of 1.332 indicates a significant deviation of actual value from predictor's value, suggesting low precision in the model forecast. As highlighted in the forecasting principles, high standard error value reduce the reliability of prediction and may necessitate the use of alternative forecasting techniques such as moving average or exponential smoothing. The current regression model does not provide a reliable forecast due to its weak explanatory power and lack of statistic significance. Further advancements, including additional predictor variables and alternative forecasting methods, should be explored and improve model accuracy and forecasting reliability. Next is the F statistic. The value is 1.735. This value assesses the overall significance of the model. A low F statistic suggests that the model does not provide a good fit for the data. Significant as with a p-value of 0.159, the p-value indicates whether the regression model is statistically significant. Since the value is greater than 0.05, the model is not statistically significant, meaning that the independent variable do not explain the variation in the dependent variable effectively.